The Washington Wizards are not supposed to be winning basketball games right now. In about year 2 or 3 of a rebuild, they're really focused on getting their young talent and developing them, as well as getting as high as possible in the NBA draft lottery. But as of this recent stretch, they've won 4 out of their last 7 at the time of this recording, and I definitely think it's important to know how they're doing it, not just the wins themselves, but especially how they're doing it. Their young talent is really showing some improvement, showing some real grit and toughness, and obviously learning how to win as a young team while also still trying to lose to get those good draft picks. It's tough to do, but over this recent stretch, the Washington Wizards, they figured it out. So we're just gonna get into how we just really gonna dive into what the Washington Wizards have been doing over these past 7 games. Like I said, it's important for Washington to win games, but not only just win these games, but for these young players to learn how to win, especially when it comes to late game situations, close games. When you're a rebuilding team, it's kind of tough for you to teeter that line of winning games while also losing as many games as possible. Obviously, it's tough on the players, it's tough on the organization, it's tough on the coaching staff. But when you have stretches where you win 4 out of your last 7, it shows that something's working. It shows that your system's starting to click, the young players are starting to gel, and you're learning how to win these close games and close them out. Because even in these small doses, it can be huge and tremendous in the development of your young players. And obviously, the best part about this run in general are the young players. And we're going to start it off with their former #1 overall pick from last year, Alex Sarr. Probably one of the best young bigs in the league. I made a short about him not too long ago if you want to check that out. But I mean, even this year, he's severely improved on the offensive end. I think averaging 18 points and 8 boards right now. Obviously, I think averaging over 2.5 blocks a game, top 5 in blocks in the league. And I mean, he just continues to show improvement, and that's definitely what you want out of your #2 overall pick. And I mean, his size, his mobility on defense, his mobility on offense, he looks like he's becoming a better screener, an on-ball screener. So the continued improvement from Alex Sarr, and I mean, that's your top guy. So you see your top guy working out and improving like that, the other guys are going to follow suit. And speaking of the other guys, we have Kyshawn George, who is personally my favorite player on this Washington Wizards team, who also is my favorite team. But Kyshawn George, man, 6'8", 6'9", point forward-ish kind of guy who can really shoot the skin off of the ball, and he showed that this year after a rough start last year. And not only can he bring the ball up the floor, he can initiate the offense, but he can also guard the other team's best player, which he's shown over the course of this year with Bilal Coulibaly missing some time with injury. He's still been able to guard the best player on the other team, and he's done okay. But obviously this is year 2 for him, so it can only go up from here. One thing that I do want Kyshawn to get better at, I definitely want to see him be more aggressive on the offensive end. Obviously, I love his passing ability at 6'8" to 6'9", but I want him to be a scorer. I personally think you add a point guard, a playmaking-ish point guard to this Washington Wizards team, and you get Kyshawn to be able to be a scorer that I know he can be, that he showed at Miami. He's shown flashes this year with a 30-plus point game. He's shown flashes last year. I think if you can really get him going offensively to be like go, then I mean, the sky's the limit for him. Another player, as I mentioned before, Bilal Coulibaly, who was one of my favorites when we drafted him, and obviously he's been one of my favorites ever since. I didn't know too much about him in the draft process, but once we drafted him, I did my due diligence, I did my research, and I really fell in love with Bilal Coulibaly at the #7 pick, and I believe the 2023 draft, I want to say, 2023, 2024 draft, one of those. He's become one of the better two-way wings that we have in our league. Not so much on the offensive end, but defensively, oh my, it is chef's kiss on the defensive end, man. Completely locking up stars on other teams, including Anthony Edwards. I think he had a 9-point night, something like that, when they played us. I mean, he just does so well defending on ball, and I mean, even off ball, he's a great help side defender, getting blocks. Off the ball, he's amazing getting steals. And I mean, when he gets downhill, you may as well just get back on defense, because he's gonna get to the rack and he's gonna get a free throw or he's gonna get a dunk. And I mean, how versatile he is on the defensive end is just it can really improve a young team like this. You look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, how much defensive versatility they have. I mean, defense wins championships. At the end of the day, defense wins championships. Obviously, it is a lot to be desired on the offensive end. His three-point percentage is not so good. His three-point shot in general just hasn't really, aside from the early stretch last year, his three-point percentage has not been the greatest. But I don't even think, I mean, I think he'll be completely fine as long as we put enough shooting around on the team, especially with these next two guys that I'm going to mention. I think we'll be fine. Next, who many consider the best shooter in the draft, I myself also consider him the best shooter in the draft, Tre Johnson, the rookie out of Texas, having a little slow, shaky start, but recently, oh my goodness, recently he's just been on fire. I mean, three-pointer, mid-range, getting to the rack. I mean, I personally want to see more on-ball stuff, more pick and roll, more initiating the offense, because, I mean, he did it at Texas, and I think that he could be another ball handler that we can use once we get a point guard. Because, you know, obviously you can't just have one guy bringing the ball up. So we can have a point guard, Kyshawn, Tre Johnson, I mean, Bub. I mean, it just gives us a lot of options on the offensive end. But other than that, Tre Johnson has been lights out in this stretch. He definitely brings that scoring punch and off-ball gravity that this team will need down the road once we start getting it together and we start making playoff runs. And obviously Bub Carrington, some think is our point guard of the future. I don't know so much about that, but some see him as our point guard of the future. I personally think he's going to be better off as a six-man or maybe a two-guard, a combo guard that can either come off the bench or maybe start at the two in order to relieve some pressure off of our point guard. But earlier in the year, when they tried to make him a sole point guard, he was struggling, really struggling. But as of these last 7 games, I mean, he's severely improved his points per game, assists. He's improved his shot percentage. I mean, he's been the Bub that we saw last year that gave us so much hope. And obviously, it takes a team to win a championship. And the thing that I love the most about all of these young guys that we have, and obviously I listed a bunch of guys, but we also have other people like Tristan Vucevic. We have Justin Champagnie. I mean, we have other young guys. Will Riley, I like a lot. We have Jameer Watkins, who I like a lot. And all of these guys, even though they may not be the best defender right now, I think they all have the potential to be above average defenders at the NBA level. As you look in the draft and you see the AJ DeBonstas, you see the Cam Boozers, you see the Darren Petersons, you see the Calebs, you see this amazing draft class that's coming in right now. Obviously, like I said, this last stretch they've been winning, they've been playing really well. But at the same time, if you're the front office, you have to think we cannot win too many games because we have the top 3 guys are like the guys, and they're amazing. Blue chip prospects. I personally think AJ DeBonsta, I love AJ DeBonsta. Do I know how he would fit with the Wizards? Not really, because I think that the need necessarily is a point guard, but when you're at the top of the draft, you don't draft. You do not draft for fit. You draft best player available, point blank period, and you roll with it, and you roll the ball out, and you see how it works. Because when you draft for fit, you miss out on the better player. Obviously, you can miss out on the better player. But I do think if Washington can add a 1A player in this next upcoming draft, someone who can have gravity, on-ball gravity on offense, and can just take over offensively, it could definitely change the timeline tremendously. Especially when you're adding a guy like that to this already solid core, solid group of young guys who know how to compete, they can win games, and obviously the more experience they get, the more that they can teach this new rookie that's coming in to win. And then you add him offensively. You got Kyshawn offensively, Alex Sarr improved offensively, and obviously everybody else on the team can really sit down and play some good defense aside from maybe 1 or 2 players, Tristan. Anyways, the way that this is looking, man, it's really looking on the up and up for the Washington Wizards. I think within next year we could be competing for a play-in spot, and I think within the next 2 years we will be competing for a playoff spot, possibly a top 4 seed. I'm hoping, but I'm super optimistic and biased as a Wizards fan. But I think this rebuild is really coming together. They haven't rushed anything. They've drafted the players they wanted to draft. They've traded up when they needed to. They've traded away players when they needed to. They've done great salary dumps. They've brought in good vets, CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton. Jonas Valanciunas last year. I mean, the way this front office has gone about this rebuild, I can't say enough of how good that has looked. I mean, I personally think you can't really do too much better with the cards they've been dealt. Y'all let me know, man. Do y'all believe in this young Wizards core? Do y'all think that there's real potential for them to be a championship contending team maybe in the next 4 to 5 years? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. It's been Corey from Between 94, and I'm out.